Now I'll quickly show you the back here, what we've got. This has been causing a few stirs locally. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and to this little video. A little bit of an update, just basically to show you how we're getting on. We've been now a few weeks in, since you've now obviously seen where we are. Obviously we've launched the car pitch here in Crewe in Cheshire. Obviously, if you haven't checked it out already, check out my launch video when I introduce you walk around the site, if you haven't already seen it. So it's been a really busy sort of last 10 days really. We had a busy start, and then we had a little bit quiet period. We started to get a few cars out, and then it went mad again. As soon as we were getting stuff ready, we're sort of selling it. So I thought I'd do a quick update, how we got on, what we've been up to, what we've been buying, what's in the process of being ready, and what's going out. So let's have a look at the pitch. So off the bat, we've got a few bits outside now which are going out at the moment. So we've got the Fiat 500, that is sold, the little low 8 plate one that was on the channel a few months ago when we actually bought that from auction. Little category D one. Don't do many cat D cars if I'm honest with you, but that was well worth having. Low mileage, only did about 68,000 miles. Really nice bonny thing. Dad and daughter came. First car for them, they bought it, they're picking it up. That's going out tomorrow, so I'm just in the process of just cleaning that out. It's been through MOT, all that's been prepped and done. Really happy with that. Look, 2495er. So we've done really well out of that one. We have spent quite a bit on it. We've also put some brakes on them for them as well, because they were a bit iffy, the brakes, to be honest with you. They probably would have passed MOT, to be fair, but I thought, no, sorry, let's put a new set of disc and pads on. They're not expensive on these anyway. They're about 33 quid for a set of disc and pads for this, because they're solid discs, quite old-fashioned setup on them. So, you know, it's just not messing about, just throw it on. We've also got rid of the white Fiat 500. Look, Bobby Dazzle, this one owner car from new. This has been sold since the beginning of last week actually, but they didn't want it until next week. They're having to pick it up next week. The guy's coming up from Cornwall actually. He's buying it for his daughter who lives around here, so he's had the dad round, they've been round, and basically the granddad's paying for it. Bit of a long-winded situation, but he's coming up next week to sort of hand over the car, if you like. Like I said, nice thing, one owner car, did about 100,000 miles, a bit up on the miles compared to the blue one, but like I said, one owner, full service history, and I mean proper full history. It's not missed a service in its life. It's really looked after. It's a nice clean car, drives really well. Base model as well, pops, it's got on the old insurance, ideal for a first time driver. Again, 2495, so one was up on the mileage, one was low on the mileage, one was on the register, one wasn't. So they were about similar-ish money. Obviously the blue one's a bit of a brighter car, better spec, but the white one's got good history and HPI clear, so they were roughly about the same sort of money. 2495, flew straight out the door. We had loads of people on it. I can't believe it didn't sell any quicker, because we said we had loads of test drives on it. People just go away and think, and then they never really come back. And then we literally had the one guy on it, just as soon as he brought it, as soon as he went and test drove it, then all of a sudden, bang, they wanted it. And then all of a sudden, we had loads of people coming back who wanted to buy it, who had already test driven it, usual story. So, yeah, anyway, that's gone. Deposit's taken, been through, no, we haven't got to go for MOT on Tuesday. It's going out on Wednesday. We've already had it on the ramp. It's pretty spectacular underneath, as you can imagine, for a car that's got decent history. We've done a few little bits to it before it went on sale anyway, so we're pretty much happy with that, ready to go out the door. Little Fiesta here. We've got two Fiestas. One of them is over here, which I'll show you in a minute. The little one we've had on the channel you might have seen before. That's going out. This one is going out. We actually sold this. This came off a trader friend of mine. He just rocked up with it. A little cheapy. Didn't pay a great deal of money for it. It's got an odd number plate on it as well. Yeah, strange one that, but it's a 2007 on a 57. It's just a bog standard Fiesta. Nothing special about it. It's done 100,000 miles. Just a little cheapy, but drives really well. I was going to think of making it into sort of a 14, 15, 95 car. We've just sold one, like I'll show you in a sec, straight away. That went straight out, nice bright thing. So I thought it'd be somewhere around that level. I was going to get it painted because it did need a little bit of paint on one side on the door. So it was queued up for the paint man. You can see here, lack of peel on this door here, which really ruins it, to be honest with you. I want a trim machine, but we've got a set of wheel trims for it. But other than that, really, other than a valet, it was really just wanted a quick valet, a little bit of maintenance underneath, a few little bits and odds and sods. It wanted doing to brine it up, set of trims, a few arms and stuff like that. Tidy up the underbody. Well, obviously, what a service and bits like that. I think we're going to have some. It's had a cam belt, but for some reason, no one's bothered to change the auxiliary belt, which is hanging off. Little silly things like that. But the main thing was we're going to get that door painted. Anyway, we had a lady come on for it. She only had a set budget, so I said, look, if you ignore the paint, I'll do the other bits. You know, so I'll do all the servicing, I'll get you an MOT, anything like that side of it, tyres. I know it wants a few arms and stuff like that doing on it. We'll get it right for you. Little bits like the seat bolsters here, these things always break on Fiestas. Handles always break off. But but we keep them, buy them on eBay, like £7 for a pair of them, so we've got a ruck of them because we buy and sell a lot of Fiestas. You know, tracking wants doing, I'll get it all right for you, and we'll stick to your budget. So it wasn't quite what we wanted to get for it, but we haven't had to paint the other side. So, I mean, she wasn't bothered, she just wants a cheap runabout. Her car's basically failed its MOT miserably. We've taken that in part exchange, so we may be able to do something with that, because I don't think it's too bad a car. You know, we can probably do something with her part exchange, which she probably can't afford to do, but we can probably do it a lot cheaper. So we can get her in this. She's got a car for a couple of years, hopefully that will see her through. Like I said, a little 125 Fiesta. 105 thou. On the button. Bright enough, sounds great. I've been down the road in it, had fuel in it, so I've actually been using it, so it's a half decent little car for someone. Just getting this little cheapie for someone. What else have we had coming in? Well, all sorts. We've had the Mini coming in. That's the old shape style Mini, so we've got the older Chrysler engine in. I do like these Minis with these older engines. They're such a good car. They're just such good sellers, and they're just a bit more reliable than the later engines. I'll just show you what I mean, actually, what I mean by the early and later engines. I actually got the key on me here for this one. Quickly show you. Pop the bonnet and start her up. Look at that, beautiful. It's run about 90,000 miles, this has. That's why I bought it. Oh, I might be, actually. Oh, it's flat as a witch's tit. Never mind. Have no fear. The Top Don JS2000 is here. Top Don JS2000, very portable jump pack. We are never without it here. We've got the 2000, we've also got the smaller one, the 1200 as well. Fantastic little bit of kit. The 2000's about a mid-range one, ideal, perfect for us. It'll start anything up to like a 3 litre diesel, no problem. Petrols, diesels, any size, this thing will start it. We've started big trucks up with this. It's brilliant. You get loads of goes on it as well. You know, it'll do like 30 or 40 starts ups on a full charge. It's got a built-in torch for it. It's got DC as well, so you can power stuff off it. You've got USB connectors as well, so you can power your phone if it's dead as well. That's been handy. I powered my mobile on it the other week. I had it in the car with me. It's just brilliant. But how does it work? Well, it comes in this little portable pack, which is nice. But in there as well, you've got your leads. These are separate, and they just connect in. Bit of a bayonet fitting. I'll just quickly show you now. So just pull the battery case off there. Pull these out there, and you can see the connectors where they go. There's your USB ports, and obviously you've got your main charging point there where you put your lead in. So I said, just pop that in. I said, just pop that in, like that. Don't matter if you touch the leads, guys. They won't arc or anything like that, because they're got a safety protector in them. Pop that on there. You're ready to go now. But you want extra power, just press the old boost button. Oh, we're ready. And now, you should fire up. Yes! Look at that there now. Beautiful. Sounds like a rally car. Yeah, I forgot to mention the back box is not on this car. We took it off the other day because it's rotten. But, nonetheless, another win for the JS2000. Fantastic little jump pack, these. We're never without it. So we've got a couple of these. You've got the 2000 and you've got the 1200 as well. The 1200 is even smaller than this. I'll show you a picture of it now. It's about half the size of that. Fantastic little jump pack. Brilliant thing. It doesn't matter which one you get, guys, the 1200 or the 2000. I personally go for the 2000 because it's about £20 difference. It's just got a bit more oomph for it. But the 1200, if you're only powering smaller cars or smaller diesels, just as good. They start from about £55 for the 1200. I think this one, the JS2000, is about £70 and a few pence. The link is in the description, guys, if you want to buy one. Honestly, the best thing you'll probably ever buy this year. It's brilliant. We're never without it. It will get you out of a jam. They make fantastic gifts and presents as well. Like I said, the link is in the description. Click on that link, guys, and you'll find the best price from the genuine distributor in the UK. Please make sure you use the link in the description. You make sure you get the genuine machine from the distributor as well, because you'll get some of them that are slightly priced differently, a bit more. They won't come with a carry case. They won't be the correct up-to-date model. Make sure you're getting the right one. So use our distributor link there. It's the best price as well anyway. You'll take it straight through and you can order one today. So make sure you check out that link and get yourself the JS2000. Yeah, so as we can hear, she wants a bit of work, the old Mini, but they are good sellers, these, and we do quite well with them, so we'll definitely be pressing on with it. But this is what I mean about this engine. It's the old Chrysler engine. These were supposed to have Rover K series in, actually. I mean, it's probably a wise move, they didn't go down that route, but the last minute BMW, who were the owners of Rover, who were sort of working on this project with the Mini in the 90s, they sort of last minute changed their mind and went for this sort of Chrysler engine. I think it was fitting the PT Cruiser as well, I believe. I'm sure I've seen them in the PT Cruisers, but a very good, robust engine, well put together. I think they're called, was it Tri-Pack or something, the name of the engine was, something like that? I can't exactly remember, or Trident, Tri-Pack, something like that. Anyway, I've always thought they were a cracking engine. They went up to about 2006, so this is a late one. I think I've had a 56 plate with this engine in, so it must be 07 onwards. They changed to a later Peugeot engine. I'll put a picture in the screen so you can see what I mean about the later Peugeot engine. And when they run right, the Peugeot engine, they're really good, they've more performance and it's better on fuel, but they're just not as reliable as these old units, nowhere near as reliable. So I'd try and buy these early ones, try and buy sort of these era as well, sort of between 54 and 06. I think the gearboxes are slightly different compared to the older ones. The older ones used to suffer with whiny gearboxes, so if you get one sort of 54 to 2006, seems to be the sweet spot really for these Minis, in my opinion. But yeah, so anyway, that's one to look out for if you're buying a Mini. Try and get an earlier one if you can. Not saying not buy a late one, but just obviously be cautious. We've got a Part X Corsa that's come in, 12 plate, that is rattling its brains out. Chain, what's doing on that one, that came in part exchange against a blue 207 that we had, that was actually on the channel. So we've got that going out, that's coming in against it. So we're definitely going to retail that, done 90,000 miles. But at the moment, we don't even dare start it because the chain is that bad. I mean, it's probably the worst chain I've ever heard that's actually still attached to the car. So yeah, it's very critical that gets done. So lad next door is going to be doing that for us. He's going to do that hopefully this week. We've also got a little Clio that's been dropped off. Not sure what we're doing with that yet. It came in a deal with some other cars. It came with a Mondeo that isn't here, which has gone to the valeters. Nice diesel Mondeo with titanium wheels on. Z-Tech car, but titanium wheels. But anyway, that'll be back soon. If I've got a picture of it, I'll shove it in on this video so you can see it. But that's hopefully should be a bright car when that gets back. Like I say, a little 1.2 Clio. I don't think it's a Campus model. No, it's not a Campus. Campus has got a flush back on it. But, you know, I quite like these. They're always quite good. They don't rot or anything like that. This one's got a little bit of an oil leak. We need to have a look at that. But if we can get the oil leak fixed on it, I think we can make a car out of it as well. So, and it'll just be a cheapie for someone. But we'll see, because it might not be good enough. If it's not, we can get rid of it. It's not really an issue. We can probably trade it on. It doesn't owe us a great deal of money, a couple of £100. It came, like I said, in a deal. It also came in a deal with this Focus. I will do a video on that because that is a bit of a contentious issue, that Focus, when it arrived. It wasn't quite what I was expecting, but we'll talk more about it in another video. Well, so we've got going on here. Well, i20 sold. The i20, the Hyundai i20 is sold. This was on the channel a few months ago. Oh, what a car this has been to us. We've had to sort out the bodywork on it, we had to do a timing chain on it, we had to do a clutch on it. It was never ending, but it is a proper right car now. Full history, one owner, a bit up on the miles. Done 120,000, but again, like I said, it had full history. We've done the chain on it because that was wrong, not right on it. It was basically bogging down when you drive it. Very common stretch chains on the 1.2 Hyundai i20s and the Kia Rios of this era. So obviously we had to do that, but it's done. And it actually came in at quite good value as well. We've not spent too much on it. We've done a lot of work to it, but because we've done most of it ourselves, we've saved quite a bit of a packet. It's on the right side of the money. So when we sold it today, guy came on the pitch. It was a toss-up between the i20 and also this white Corsa for his partner. In the end, they decided to go for the i20. It didn't matter to me which one they bought. It wouldn't bother me at all. So, but they went for the i20. They did actually put a deposit down on that, and then they moved it over to the i20 later on. So they came back a little bit of buyer's remorse, which we're happy to do. 5 doors, probably a bit more practical for them, to be honest, because they've got a kid in tow. So yeah, they're both 35 quid tax. So either way, you'd probably be better. You're not any worse off tax wise. Reliability, you'd probably be better off with an i20 over a Corsa. Let's be realistic. But Corsas sell. We've had a lot of people flying around this. I'm surprised it's still here. But you know, we're getting bites on it. Like I said, it will go at some point. I'm not worried about too much about that. Anyway, i20, that's going out next week. Happy that's gone. We've had a nice margin out of it, but we have done a lot of work to it, so it's well deserved. Well, so we got stocked up. What else is here? Well, I'm not going to go too much, but stocked up wise, we've got a little Igo's come in. I've got to get that sorted. We all love an Igo. Little Fiesta, blue Fiesta's here. This is going out, it's supposed to go out today. It's actually going out tomorrow now. Nice thing this. Spent a lot of money doing this up. Got it at right money, but we had to spend a bit on it. Nice wheels on it, it's very trick. 1.2, loads of stuff on it. We had to put a boot release on it. The seat handles are gone. We did a service on it. We did a ball joint on it. We did a shocker on it. All sorts of things really. A couple of tyres, but we haven't spent a lot of money on it because these parts are really cheap. Luckily, cam belt had already been done by someone else previously, so that didn't need doing. We didn't do the auxiliary belts again because for some reason people seem to do cam belts and then just put the old auxiliary belts back on. It's a bit of a bugbear of ours, but it always seems to be happening a lot these days. So we changed them because there's 2 on this and they're just horrible, and they break. Your customers are going to come back screaming at you, so just put them on. You know, they're 10 quid for some belts. What's the point in not doing them? But like I says, bright old thing. It's come up well. Happy with that. That's going out. The guy loves it. He's had it tracked today. Now it's all nice and straight and driving down the road as it should. 1.2 petrol, so it's 100,000 miles, but it doesn't matter. I've seen these. We've had on the channel with 160 FAW on. We've had them on, and you know, selling fine. So we'll be happy with that. That'll go out. I'm sure you'll enjoy that. It's a local who's buying that one. Another Fiat 500's just landed. I've got another one queued up as well. This is off a friend of mine, a trader. He's bought this one and sold it me. Diagnosed with electrical problem. Turned out just to be a straightforward alternator issue. Basically, it was running fine until you sort of overload it, and then when you overload all the electrics, put lights on and put the heaters on, then the alternator would just completely stop working. But then if you turn the lights off, the alternator worked fine again. So it was getting a bit of iffy readings, and I could see why, if you were testing it, why it might not show as the alternator was functioning all right, but it wasn't. When it was loaded, it was causing problems. So obviously, being driven at night, it would be flattening the battery over time. So we've diagnosed that, luckily. A bit expensive, the alternators for these. I've managed to get hold of one off a friend of mine who breaks them for right money because it's new. They are really expensive, but he has got a ruck of these anyway, so we'll chance a second-hand one. I mean, there might be people who say we should put a new one on it, but you know, we will spend the money elsewhere on this car. We're not skinflints, but we're not just going to waste money when we can put a perfectly good second-hand one that's been tested and right off someone I trust. So we'll put one on and see where we go with that. We'll have to put a new start-stop battery on it because it's not got the correct battery on. Someone's just thrown an old battery on it for now. So there's the expense there because they're not cheap things either. So we'll spend the money where it's needed. It needs paint as well. All corners are like this, just all scuffed. Typical Fiat 500 in the fact of another scuff bumper there. Door handle is hanging off, so we've had to but it's covered up at the moment because we've just they took the alternator off it, so we've got to put the window back up. Door handle there is all broken. We've got one of these. We keep these now in stock because we're getting about 10 quid off eBay. But they said all of them seem to fall off, so we'll change them quite regular. That'll probably buff out that side, but it wants at least 2 corners painting. A good mop over, but you can see the potential in it. I only gave 1,500 quid for that car. 1,500 quid. It probably want 400 or 500 quid spending on it, but it's a £3,500 car. Again, up on the miles, I think it's about 98,000 miles with a bit of history. Owned by a doctor as well, and that isn't some sort of, oh, it's owned by a vicar, you know, sort of the old spiel you get from the salesman. It genuinely, on the logbook, was owned by a doctor. Double barrel name, so it's got to be a doctor. But yeah, it's a nice thing, good value in it. We might have a slonk of money in that, but again, we're putting a lot of effort in. We'll spend a lot of money on it. We'll put brakes on it. We'll be putting all sorts on it. It won't just be a straightforward, just send it to the body shop, wash up, put a door handle on, and away we go. There'll be other things we'll have to do to this car. We're going to have to put a lot of time and effort to get it right. So, you know, in fairness, we deserve a nice margin out of it. And we've got to stand by it as well. Don't forget that, guys. If it goes boom in a month, I'm paying for it. Here we've got a little Ligo there. That's going queued up for paint. Again, on that corner, the only bit lets it down is that corner. So that can't stay like that. It's got to be done. Again, my smart repairman will sort that out for us. Probably will cost us 80 quid, something like that. Smart repairman will do that for us. They're very cheap round here, and they're very good actually. But he'll sort that for us, get it all painted in, and we'll get it back then and just sort of clean it up. But again, this thing will sell. We've had already people sniffing around it because it's an Igo, you know. They just sell. It's done, again, 100,000 miles, but if it's done 60,000 miles, we can't buy them. To be honest with you, the low mileage ones we cannot buy. We have to be realistic and buy them around sort of 90, 120 thou, because these are still costing us around £1,000 to buy in the trade, and then we've got to spend a lot of money on them. You know, we could end up putting clutches in these. This one's wants a catalytic converter because it's cracked on the manifold, can't be repaired, so we've got to buy one of those. So there's a lot of expense needs spending on it, but we'll do it, and we'll maintain the margin out of it. You know, we've not got a load in it. We don't get much out of these, to be honest, but when they go out, you've got that reliability. You know, when you're selling these outright, they're never coming back because they're just so reliable. You're happy to take a little bit less money out of an Igo or a 107 C1, same car, purely because the chance of them coming back and having to sort of fix them under warranty is very, very slim. Now, I'll quickly show you the back here, what we've got. This has been causing a few stirs locally. A little Honda Jazz, nothing odd with a Honda Jazz, very clean Honda Jazz, but as you can see here, this Honda Jazz is an automatic. And automatics are just in such high demand. This has come off a trader friend of mine. We're just having a look at it first before it goes on sale because it wants a service. It's been laid up for a while, and we just want to basically check it all over before we commit to it, because it's an auto, it's got to drive right. So we're going to do a service on it, gearbox oil flush. These are one of the few gearboxes that today you can sort of work on without having to have all the latest equipment you have to have for these sort of sealed boxes and stuff you get on most autos these days. Very old-fashioned school, this old-fashioned CVT box in these, so it's just a case of draining it, put some fresh fluid in it, and go for a proper drive in it. Test it first before we sort of commit to it, because autos, although you've got a nice bit of wedge in them, if you get them at the right money, you'll sell them straight away. You've got to be careful, because if the auto box is not right in it, you know, it's curtains, because no one can, we can't fix them. It's a specialist job to have them fixed. We're not autobox specialists. Other than sort of maintain and service them, there's not really much we can do to them. So they've got to make sure they're 100% right, because we don't want to get bitten on one. We don't want to be selling it and then 2 months later we have an autobox fault, because obviously, you know, we're going to have to be either fixing it or refunding it, and basically all the money will be gone out of it. So I always like to make sure when I get an auto in, or when I'm dealing with an autos, whether it's here going forward or prior to that in our old business when we used to sell the odd auto, I just make sure they're right, service them first, go out and use them for a few days, and then go from there, and then we'll make a commitment on them. If we think it's right, we'll put it up for sale. What's that worth? Believe it or not, I think it's done about 90,000 miles, that. I think we'll get £2.5 for that, and it sounds ridiculous for an old 54 Honda Jazz, but it's auto, and you can't buy automatics. You cannot buy them. £1,000 will not get you an automatic car these days, not one right anyway, and small autos are even more demand. So at £2.5, we've already had people asking. I've already flown the price around about what it will be, and they still want it. So it sounds daft to me, but that's the reality of the situation we're in. Small autos are gold. So that's a little bit of an update of what we've been doing so far. Like I said, it's getting a bit dark now, so I'm gonna have to pack up in a minute and go home. Just got to quickly hoover out this little Fiat because they're coming for this in the morning. Oh, Dacia, that is now sold. We had a guy on it, and then we sort of made the video for it because we thought it was going out, and then he changed his mind because basically his wife was unsure about buying another car, and then we just sort of re-advertised it, put it back out on social media locally. We had loads of people on it, 2 free test drives, and they were all sort of saying they were going to come back and sort of put a deposit on it. No one actually did that day, and then the man who actually originally looked at it, who wanted to buy it, just turned up randomly at like 4:30, 4:45 that night, and just said, "I've had a change of heart, sorry, I'm buying it, forget the wife," type thing. He's been a man and made his own decisions, so he's now a proud owner of the Dacia. So that's had a bit of a issue with that today on the wiper motors. It was a bit seized up. Very common on these where either the wipers themselves, the actual motor packs up, or usually, like in this case, the actual linkages seize up, and then eventually that basically just blows the motor because it puts too much strain on it because it can't push it round. But luckily we caught it in time. It was still working but very slowly, and it probably would have gone for MOT actually, but I just noticed on the top setting when I was doing all my PDI checks on it, it just wasn't working on the top setting correctly. So I took it off, checked it, and lo and behold, it was absolutely seizing up solid. We freed it off with a bit of soaked it in some kerosene, freed it off in the vice, and it's now absolutely free as a bird, which is good because they're about 100 quid to buy them linkages, and the motors are about 150 quid, and you can't buy any other one other than this particular one, which is a Renault. It's a Renault motor, but you think it's out of a Clio, but it isn't. It's made for Renault for Dacia, which is dead unique to this car, which is a real shame, and it's really expensive. But luckily, it's all working fine now, so that's great news. We saved a packet on that. So that's going for MOT tomorrow, and hopefully he's picking that up Tuesday. He's picking that up, so I'm really pleased with that because that's a lovely car. I knew it would sell. It's a sort of thing that really I want to go start selling going forward because they're just popular. People like them. They're simplistic. They do as they should. You know, I quite like a Dacia. Punter, the old Panda's in the air there. That's had a ruck of work done to it. I bought that for buttons. I think we saw that on a vlog actually recently when I picked it up from a dealer. I didn't give a lot of money for that. I think I gave about 300 quid for it. Did about 95 or 100,000 miles. 1.1 petrol. It was a bit hit and miss where we're going to go on with it, but I decided actually when you worked out all the bits for it, it was so cheap to fix. Like, I got a gearbox for that for 50 quid. No, 70 quid, sorry, tell a lie. It was £70, the gearbox was. Done like 18,000 miles because it had a noisy box. We've got that picked up. I got a clutch for an OE clutch for Motor Quip. OE clutch for £22 it cost on the shelf. I was like, how much? 22 quid? Is it made of wood? And he was like, no, it's motor quip. It's genuine OE. I was like, wow. And it was like, basically, they just want rid of them off the shelf. They've just been sitting there covering dust. So they just reduced them. So I thought, sod it, we'll do it. So we put a clutch and gearbox in it, which cost us about 98 quid or just over 100 quid with the gear oil. I'm amazed. We've had to do a few other little bits to it. Rocker covers, leaking, dead common on that engine, plugs and leads and stuff, a couple of coils. But again, they were cheap bits, like 60 quid for all that. It's just so cheap to fix, these things. And it now drives really, really well. We're just doing a little check underneath on it. I went down the road in it today, thought the exhaust was blowing a bit. And it turned out actually to be, wasn't actually blowing, it was actually the baffles. So there's this back box here, put a new one on it now, but the old one, basically inside here you've got all like sort of baffles, basically, so it's all sort of sections of it's all split up, and inside there'll be all sorts of wool and stuff that sort of basically sort of muffle the exhaust, or what's called the muffler. But yeah, they were all sort of get full of water over time, it erodes down, and it just makes a horrible noise. It basically sounds like it's blowing when it's not, and if you bash them, you can hear all the crap inside where it's all broken down. Anyway, took it off, fell to pieces, like we said, we just ordered a new exhaust, whacked it on today. 48 quid for a brand new exhaust. So it's looking all right now, the little Panda, and I think that'll sell. It doesn't owe a great deal of money. Probably owes about 600 quid, probably, with all the bits on it. Obviously, we've got a time on it, but we've got to be fixing them. If we're not fixing them, then what else are we going to be doing? And I think we'll get £14.95 for it. I think it's well worth it. It's got a little bit of history on it. It's all right. I think it will do a job for someone. And I quite like them. I don't know, I always had a soft spot for a Panda. So anyway, as you can see, everything's going well. I'm really pleased so far the last couple of weeks. We didn't really expect to be sell as many as we have done. I mean, we've not sold loads. I don't think we've made, made millions or something. We haven't. But, I thought to myself, first month in, if we get 7 or 8 away this month, I'll be really pleased. We've already hit that sort of the other day. We're now got probably on about 9 or 10 now. We're on 10 actually now where we've sold. And we've got irons in the fire for others as well. I think we'll probably do another couple more. So 12 cars out the door, I'll be happy with that for 3 weeks really we've been trading. And when we've got decent margins in them, not in everyone, but we've got enough. What we're after, we've got in them. And so I say everyone so far has been happy. We've had no issues other than sort of one person actually on a car that wasn't mine. It was actually the previous owner's car. He left here, just a minor issue. But we've rectified that now, he's happy. As long as people are reasonable, we'll be reasonable with them. So anyway, that was just a quick update, guys, of what's been going on. Normal service will resume soon. I'll do some reviews and some auction videos coming out probably next week, so make sure you check them out. So thank you for watching this one, guys. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you all very soon.